one of the 14 positive commandments that we fulfill when we guard our tongues and don't speak loshen hara. As you know, the Torah has 613 mitzvahs that Jews have to keep and 7 Noahide laws for the nations of the world, the non-Jewish world. Now, these apply to Jews and some of them to non-Jews as well. If a non-Jew would like to take on board some of these mitzvahs to gain merit on a voluntary basis and serve God, then they're welcome to do so. Number 1, Devarim 24:9. Remember what Hashem your God did to Miriam. A Jew is commanded to always remember the punishment that Miriam received in the desert when she spoke loshen hara against Moses, and that God afflicted her with sorrows, a kind of leprosy. If a person keeps this in mind continually, that they are commandments and they are punishments for not keeping the commandments, then it serves as a guard to prevent oneself from speaking and opening their mouth in a way that violates the Torah. Number 2, Vayikra 19:18. Love your neighbor as yourself. If one speaks against their fellow man, this shows that they lack respect and that they're not showing their fellow man honor, and that they don't love their fellow man as themselves. And this includes speaking loshen hara and rechilas without a constructive purpose, saying something without a constructive purpose. And even if he accepts loshen hara spoken about someone, so this includes listening to loshen hara. If someone listens to loshen hara and accepts without question what the person has said is true, and that the person who is the victim of the speech definitely did what the speaker said, then this is a violation of this commandment. Number 3, with righteousness shall you judge your fellow. We're commanded to judge our fellow favorably, to think highly of other people, and not to jump to unwarranted conclusions that they're doing a mistake and sinning. If a person of average moral character is seen doing something wrong, and it seems that if he's spotted doing something and you could judge it favorably, meaning maybe it's not quite as it seems, maybe it just appears to be like that, maybe there's some knowledge that I'm lacking, that if I knew, I would be able to acquit him in my mind of having done something wrong. If you see someone like that, you're obligated to judge them favorably and think of an excuse for the person in your mind. Maybe if he knew what he was doing was wrong, he wouldn't have done it. Maybe he isn't aware that there's a commandment that prohibits that. One can always think of some excuse to acquit someone, and the truth is, if we judge someone favorably down here, then God himself judges us favorably. It's actually in our best interests not to scrutinize people. For example, if we see someone begging on the street, asking for money, a lot of the time people might overly scrutinize what the person is going to do with the money. Is he going to buy drink? Is he going to buy drugs? Maybe squanders the money gambling. Maybe why doesn't he have a home? Why can't he pull himself together and get a job like anyone else? If someone would then listen to their own thought analysis and not give money on the basis of those subjective ideas, that's called not judging someone favourably, and the heavenly court would therefore open a book of your own deeds and bring it before Hashem for Hashem to judge you in the same ways you judge the other person. Something to think about. On the other hand, if it's a God-fearing Jew that you see do something wrong, and the situation is equally weighted for or against him, one must judge him favourably. And if you happen to jump to unwarranted conclusions or speak loshen hara against someone like that, you violate the mitzvah of not judging your fellow with righteousness. And righteousness in this context means charity, with mercy. Judge your fellow with mercy. Part 2 following. Good luck.